Hey, what's up? Sept here, taking a look at the platformer Tinertia, the first game developed by Candescent Games with some outsourced help from Section Studios. After crash landing on an unknown planet, you will have to make your way through various different environments using nothing else but your rocket launcher and boost pack. The key feature of Tinertia is that it's a platforming game without a jump button, or at least a traditional way to jump. Instead, you'll have to take advantage of your rocket launcher to rocket jump over obstacles and up the sides of walls. It is a little unnatural at first, as you have to aim the rocket in the opposite direction you want to jump, easily having you getting your directions confused during some of the faster paced sections, but after playing it for a little while you will become accustomed to it. Speaking of fast, you can move extremely fast while chaining rocket jumps to the point where you can jump skip quite a few platforms if done right. You can also give yourself a little bit of directional boost that you can use only once while in the air that will give you just that little bit more out of your jump. Later on in the game, this boost can also be used to time certain elements better, for instance these traps. They activate either from a rocket hitting them or from you falling into them. Obviously you want the rocket to activate the trap, but without using the boost you may fall into the trap with it. Using the boost gives you that couple of seconds to allow the trap to close without you in it. The only way to regen your boost is by landing on a platform for a couple of seconds, so again during some of the faster levels of the game you have to use it sparingly, as there may be a jump that requires the boost, or you may just end up screwing up a jump, hitting the boost button, have nothing happen while you fall to your death. Each level of the game will have both a rocket jump part and a time to beat to challenge yourself with if you're up for it, but it's probably best not to aim for these on the first run, more of a challenge that you come back to later on. A lot of the rocket jump paths won't allow for the extreme momentum rocket jump chains that you can do, and is an alternative method of playing the game with precision as opposed to pure speed. As with most games, the difficulty in the first couple of levels is rather easy, however while you're new to the rocket jumping mechanics, even these early levels are somewhat difficult for your first time through. Coming back to these earlier levels and completing them for speedruns however will be much easier. Each couple of levels will introduce new mechanics to work with, like one-hit platforms that will crumble under you when shot, or lasers that turn deadly when activated. All these new mechanics culminate in the last couple of levels in the stage just before the stage's final boss fight. The boss fights in Tinertia, at least for the first few stages, are time-based with something chasing you, attempting to kill you, whether that be rising sewage water or a robot's hand with chainsaw fingers. There's usually another mechanic hidden in these fights too, but I won't spoil any of that for those of you that end up picking up the game. It will be trial and error for a while before you learn the right path and what angle to rocket jump at for each section, but luckily the game offers an extremely fast reset, so there is no waiting around for your next attempt on the boss or any other level for that matter. Other features of the game include a speedrun mode that allows you to play through the whole stage uninterrupted. So instead of receiving a time for each level at the end of the level, you now only receive a time after you defeat the stage's boss. If you died during a run, you'll be respawned at the current level's checkpoint, so you won't have to do the whole stage again. Once you complete a run, your time will be posted on the leaderboards with a worldwide leaderboard and a friends list leaderboard for a bit of friendly competition. Finally, there is boss rush mode that will allow you to take on all the bosses in the game one after the other. I do suggest playing the game with a controller, as the game isn't really designed for mouse and keyboard, requiring directional inputs for some of the mechanics, feeling really odd when trying to do that with the WASD keys. Altogether, Tinertia is the kind of platformer that requires precise movements and speed rather than puzzles to solve or enemies to defeat. It is definitely an ideal game for any speedrunners out there, and is actually quite similar in difficulty with simplistic mechanics as Super Meat Boy. If you enjoy the challenge associated with games like Super Meat Boy, where you have to be almost pixel perfect while still moving very quickly through the levels, then Tinertia is definitely a game to check out. By the way guys, I have 3 Steam keys for Tinertia to give away, so if you would like a key, comment below this video with the keyword Tinertia, and in a couple of days I will randomly select 3 winners and send the keys their way. Anyway, that's been the player preview for Tinertia. The game officially released on the 3rd of September and is available on Steam for $12 for the next week, before going back to its usual price of $15 or your regional equivalent. The game will also be releasing on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Mac and Linux alongside the PC. If you want to find out more about the game, check out the links below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.